And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
A little bit better today, Brian. I like your shirt, dude. We're kind of matching today.
Yeah, we kind of are.
Yeah, hand 10, brother.
Didn't plan it, just so everybody knows. And here we are on the first day, Tony, of the United States Open LA Country Club. Can you believe that the day is finally here?
No, Brian, I guess I can't. I'm totally stoked to be watching some golf this weekend, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and, because of the West Coast time difference here, we actually just got underway, and we have 2 threesomes out on the course, and so it's a very, very early leaderboard update, and in first place at 1 under par, the amateur from Mexico, Omar Morales.
How many holes are we through so far?
1.
Does he hold, Brian?
Yeah, and remember what they said. Number 1, the easiest hole. So he actually got the only birdie out of the 6 golfers that are currently on the course. Everyone else was parred, other than Hank Liboda, who they were talking about on the PGA Tour radio this morning, that he's been playing well on the Corn Ferry. He's gonna get his PGA Tour card back. He double bogeyed number 1. So,
on the easiest hole.
So right now he sits in last place. Obviously, only 6 golfers on the course now. We definitely will have more of a full leaderboard update by the end of the show. Now I have a question for you, Tony. Coverage on USA, I think it's 1 to 8, and then NBC takes over 8 to 11. What's the chance we get 20 minutes out of you today?
20 minutes. Did you say 8 to 11 p.m.?
Yeah.
I would say pretty high at that point. I mean,
NBC main coverage, Dan Hicks.
I also would think by 11 p.m. I would be at my apartment. So
yeah. What is it? What do you got plans rest of the day?
So today after Sportsport, do some editing. 3 o'clock. Mike and I are gonna go see the Flash movie, of course.
Flash is. Did you talk about it on Screen Time recently?
No. Well, okay. It's kind of a big hot box office movie coming out. It's a comic book character, Justice League, DC, the Flash. It's actually pretty interesting because the actor is in hot water right now for doing illegal things, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like threatening to kill people.
Wait, who is this?
Entering. The actor's name is Ezra Miller. And he's played the Flash for like quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on the big screen too. He's been in they've done the Justice League, Batman vs Superman, all that. This is a standalone movie, and literally, like, I don't know. Obviously, after filming had already wrapped, he was caught. He was in Hawaii. Like they were trying to kick him out, like get him out of the bar he was in, but he was so fucked up he wouldn't leave. He was threatening to kill people. He like followed this couple to their home, broke into their house, was like in their bed at night, like, in their room at night, sort of deal. Yeah.
So he sounds like a family guy.
Yeah, dude, loves the family, dude. And then like he was accused of forming a cult as well. He had like underage people staying at his house or something. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Obviously, all this won't he hasn't gone to trial yet or anything like that. But obviously, this movie's still coming out because he had already filmed the whole thing. Like, it was almost done. So pretty interesting. A lot of juice around this movie, dude, for sure. But then after that, we have a potluck dinner here at the Knowlton with everyone who's here. The potluck dinner, dude.
Yep.
And then post that would be probably home.
Well, home, the golf, Paul Azinger.
Yeah, dude, I think
the NBC golf coverage. I don't think you've watched the tournament on NBC yet this year. It's all been on
no,
CBS.
Yes, right. Yeah, very true. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped for the whole day. It's gonna be great. Michael says he's bringing hot dogs and hamburgers. I think.
There you go.
Dogs, so
There you go. And this actor that's in Hot Water, is he a golfer?
There's no fucking shot. No. Yeah, dude. I mean, he's obviously. I mean, there's either something mentally wrong with him, or he's just a complete scumbag. So.
And most likely it's a mix of both.
Yeah, probably, dude. But definitely no golf in around his life at all. No way, dude.
And we also have another group out on the course. Michael Kim, the 29-year-old American,
Michael King,
starting
dude.
on the back, actually birdied number 1. Speaking of a tight one, he's tied with Morales at 1 under. And then we also have a bogey on 10 from Jordan Smith, who is actually from Britain. So a lot of guys that we've never heard of. Obviously, you have your who's who in this tournament, but just with the U.S. Open, there's a lot of qualifiers. So there's a lot of guys, names that we've all never heard before. And that's what makes it so fun, because a lot of times, at least early on anyway, they end up, some of them end up being in contention.
Yeah, like you said early on, but it's gonna fizz out, dude. Come
on. You never know. That guy at the Masters, Sam Bennett, I think he finished pretty high. Wasn't he under par? I think.
He definitely was under par. Yeah, but I think he dropped to like 7th or something.
He struggled on the last day.
Yeah.
So just to give you guys an idea, and I was surprised too. I didn't realize it's the earliest I've ever seen a golf tournament have a tee off. So the first group was at 9:45 Eastern. So 5:45 Pacific, Tony. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen that. Dude. Usually like a 6 o'clock, but 5:45. Wow, that's early. But
yeah, that's really early.
So notable tee times coming up here. First one, really, Kevin Streelman, 10:29. We have Thomas Peters, 10:29 as well. And then JT, Shane Lowry, and Tommy Fleetwood at 10:40. Also Bryson DeChambeau, Francisco Molinari, and Terrell Hatton at 10:40. JT Poston, Sanjay M, KH Lee at 10:51. Sergio Garcia, Tom Hoagie, Sepp Straka, Gary Woodland, 11:02. Obviously, all eyes are going to be on the afternoon group between Brooks Koepka, Rory McIlroy,
what time the tee off?
And Hideki Matsuyama. 4:54. So maybe they'll have the Nolan, maybe in the boathouse they'll have it on the projector. Sharon's a big golfer, no?
Is he?
Yeah, dude. You don't think he's into golf though?
No, yeah, I could see him being into golf. Yeah, I could see that, dude.
And then another good group too. Patrick Cantlay, Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau at 4:43. So I would imagine that's the group right prior to Koepka, Matsuyama, and McIlroy.
Yeah, dude.
Bonus question. We've obviously asked you who's going to win. Who do you think is going to be the day one leader?
Oh, wow. JT.
Wow, that's surprising. I have not liked his body of work recently. I mean, we talked about this not that long ago, but it's like, since he won the PGA last year, I mean, where's he been?
Nowhere.
I mean, is he still playing? Like, do we know? I mean, it's like, we never talk about him. He's never in contention.
Well, he's going to be your leader after today.
I know you're going to yell at me for this one. You're going to say, it's not a sleeper. I think Koepka is going to be leading after the first round.
Yeah.
I didn't pick him. I picked DJ.
God forbid.
So I am very much so looking forward to this. And I don't think I'm looking forward to as much recapping last night, but let's just go to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play. Stop it. Yep.
And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight. And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So game 2 of the Subway Series rendition at Citi Field last night featured a pitching matchup of Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole.
Oh yeah.
I think it's safe to say, both pitchers respectfully, answered the call. Had decent performances. I think that's for sure. But just to give you an idea of the sequence of events we had, and like I said, offense was not aplenty early on as these pitchers were pretty much locked in, and you could tell from that point that it was going to be a tight one, as Renee says,
hey yo poo.
Hey yo poo, is that like a normal call for Renee? I've never heard her do that.
No, I want to say that because I'm pretty sure P is next to O on the keyboard on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been a slip of the thumb, because it probably should just be AO and not Ayo poo.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
But maybe not. Maybe she'll say no. I meant to say Ayo poo.
So like I had said, we really did not have any type of scoring, a little threat here and there early on.
Slip of the thumb, she says.
But not until actually, believe it or not, the fifth inning, where, we were in the bottom of the fifth. No runs had been scored up to this point. And then off Garrett Cole, Francisco Lindor, a slip of the thumb. That's a nice shirt, Tony. So Tony gets the credit here for the shirt.
Space Camp, baby.
Basically the same
Brian,
shade. But
did you go to Space Camp? Did you go to Space Camp?
Renee, I'm chopped liver. I really appreciate it, Renee. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hang 10, Brian.
Hang 10. Hang loose. Right? So Lindor, with his 17th double, I didn't realize he had that many doubles. Obviously, the average very low. But that started out the inning. You had Francisco Alvarez flying out to right, tagging up Lindor to third. Brett Beatty striking out swinging. So Cole 1 out away from, getting out of trouble here. But Tommy Pham, to Tony's surprise, with a double to right field. Jake Bauers, a little trouble with that one.
Yeah,
also had trouble later in the game.
Yeah, he did.
Is it, you obviously watch a lot of Mets games. Do opposing right fielders have trouble playing that corner typically, or
not that I've seen, honestly? No.
Okay, so I think maybe he hasn't played right a ton. Obviously, when Judge is healthy, he's out there. A lot of pundits were saying both situations that Judge would have made the play. Any input there, and specifically on this double by Tommy Pham?
Honestly, I think the double from Pham, Judge probably would have caught that. I would like to think, but it's hard to say. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know. To me, it seemed like it was catchable. I feel like maybe if he could have tracked it better, taken a different line. I feel like he ended up, as this ball was kind of hit like, to right center, between right and center field. Like he kind of took a weird sharp line. And it ended up, he's running and it ended up being almost behind him and over him, whereas clearly, he tracked it wrong. So. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's tough.
Yeah, so that was very frustrating. So that gave the Mets a 1-0 lead. Escobar strikes out swinging to end the inning. Mm-hmm. And then in the top of the sixth inning, the Yankees do answer back. Jose Trevino with his patented double down the line. Yep. Hit off, what was that? The tarp in the corner? It took a weird ricochet.
Yeah. It's like, that's what it is. The rain tarp is rolled up right there. Yeah, unfortunately.
So then Anthony Volpe with a sacrifice fly, so moving Trevino to third, and then Jake Bauers with a single to score Jose Trevino. So that tied the game at 1. Stanton comes up, rips a ground ball. I think, over 100 miles an hour on the exit velo, but that's a double play. Very nicely turned by the combination of Escobar, McNeil, and Vientos.
Yeah, dude.
Did you expect it to be that seamless?
Honestly, no. I mean, I know Escobar is good defensively. That was one of the reasons why there was still talk of him, still being around, especially when Beatty first came up. Because, Beatty just didn't develop that defense at third. So it was good to see. And it was literally like on the third base line, too. Like it was like Escobar had to throw it on a dime on a rope to McNeil, and then McNeil did the same thing. I forget who. Bauers was the one out at second. Bauers did a good job, honestly, of like sliding into McNeil. McNeil had to jump over him and throw. And then Vientos at first had a phenomenal pick, off of that throw. Vientos only made one mistake at first base, which I'm sure we'll get to a little later on in the game. But other than that, I mean, I thought Vientos looked phenomenal at first base. He looked very comfortable. He was, picking the ball. A lot of the throws to him were not easy. A lot of them he like literally was reaching like his entire body, and he was on the ground and was able to come up with some of these balls. So great double play. We've seen, quite a few this series actually against the Yankees, the Mets have turned over. So it's nice to see that combination could sing like that,
Yeah, no, that was impressive stuff,
Yeah.
and that actually ended Justin Verlander's night. What was your assessment of what Justin Verlander did last night?
I think he pitched really well. I mean, you look at his final line; it was 6 innings. I think his strikeouts were definitely low. I think it was something around 6 Ks.
No, yeah, it was 6 Ks. Yeah, because Cole struck out 8.
Yeah. But still, I mean, only 3 hits, 1 earned run. And didn't give up any home runs. Threw 107 pitches. I don't know, dude. I mean, yes, it's a good line, but you still are expecting better from him. Again, I mean, I think honestly, the first at bat he had, against it was Bowers, right? Bowers led off. It was like a 10 pitch at bat for your first at bat. And then I think, even like the next batter was like an 8 pitch at bat or 7 pitch at bat. Like he had some trouble putting away a lot of batters, which obviously, explains why his strikeouts were so low because he had issues striking guys out, they were fouling off a lot of pitches. I don't know. I thought maybe he was using his fastball too much. I really enjoy his curveball. I think he has a great curveball. Maybe that's something he can go to for his strikeouts. Because he tries to punch it away so much with the fastball. So obviously things to work on, but coming up big in this series. I mean, again, a lot of pressure on Verlander to perform in general, let alone a Subway Series where you're trying to win a game back here. So I think overall, I mean, you got to be happy with that performance, dude.
Yeah, and I think I could say the same for Garrett Cole. Cole
was dealing. Dude,
he was dealing. Velocity was up, bite on all the pitches.
Dude. Yeah, rising fastballs.
So no criticism out of him. And he did actually get out of some trouble in the 6th. The Mets were able to get 2 on with nobody out, courtesy of Vientos and Nimmo singling. But Starling Marte struck out. Jeff McNeil lined out. And Francisco Lindor popped out. And obviously that was really that really defined why you get so frustrated. Scenarios like that. First and second, nobody out. You're telling me you can't at least move the runners up.
It's ridiculous, dude.
So yeah, like I mentioned, he had the 8 strikeouts, the 1 earned run. I don't think you could ask more out of Garrett Cole. I thought he maybe would have went out for the 7th. They didn't decide, to do that. Before we continue on here, we do have some comments. And do we think Buffer has become Tony's mice?
Absolutely.
Tony's mice.
Dude.
How did that? What was it? Who said Tony's mice?
Buffer did.
Okay, yeah.
That was when he was telling us that the mic sounded weird, but then it was a mistake. They sounded great, and he said Tony's mice instead of Tony's mic. Speaking of Mike, though, Michael Theophil in the house says Barnes seems to be taking this loss well. Are pigs flying? He asks.
I'm not. We just haven't got to the end yet, Michael. But it is U.S. Open Thursday. We don't want to be too down in the dumps, Tony.
Right,
a lot of golf today. A lot of golf.
Yeah, good golf.
So continuing on here, you have Jeff Brigham coming in to replace Verlander. Instantly walks Josh Donaldson, probably the last person you want to walk in the Yankee lineup. He hits Anthony Rizzo. So get first and second, nobody out. LeMahieu strikes out. And then IKF grounds into a force out. And Josh Donaldson scores due to a throwing error by Jeff McNeil.
This was the ball that Vientos missed. It was a throwing error, though. It was kind of out of his reach. Vientos was again, it was, a quick turn, obviously, for McNeil.
He wouldn't have got him anyway. Connor Vallejo was safe. By a lot.
But it was just a little wide of Vientos. And again, he was stretched as much as he could be with his foot still in the bag, try and pick it, and it gets past his glove. Obviously, Vientos doesn't get a lot of looks at first base. I would imagine another instance where you're like, if Alonso was there, he probably would have known, my priority is get the ball. I come off the bag and just get it, as opposed to trying to make that stretch. So obviously, just like the Yankees have some drop off without having Judge there, the Mets have seen some things in terms of drop off without having Alonso there. But like I said, other than that, I thought Vientos did a really great job at first. I'm not upset. Again, it was a throwing error by McNeil. It wasn't really his fault too. So, obviously something that could have been avoided that led to a couple runs, obviously. But I mean, I don't know. It's tough to be upset, obviously, because you still won, but it is like those little things like that fielding that like the Mets were so good at last season. It was so tight. And the narrative with that was like, oh, like, well, Buck runs a tight ship, like everything has to be clean and disciplined and consistent, and just like on defense has to be prime. So, something you definitely want to fix. But I would say from that instance, like, I mean, I think Vientos just has to get more looks at first base.
Yeah, more experience. Yeah. Matthew coming in saying, imagine if Pete and Judge were in there.
Yeah, full force. It would be definitely a different series for sure, dude. Mets probably would have swept, honestly.
So besides that nonsense, continuing that inning, you had after the air Brooke Raley coming in to relieve Jeff Brigham. And then IKF steals second. But then gets to third on a throwing error and then steals home. I could only imagine when that sequence was going on what ours truly, Tony Materiello.
Yeah. So Matthew, by the way, says, great shirt, Anthony.
Yeah, great shirt. Great fucking shirt. All right.
Oh, that's funny, dude. Okay, so the throwing error by Alvarez. All right, so I think that this is just, again, an instance where a super young team, you see this a lot in sports too, having super young players, where Vientos made a mistake on first base. Alvarez probably really wanted to throw out IKF at second, and just absolutely sailed this ball. Again, like something you see with youthful players, compounding mistakes back to back. That's definitely something you never want to do in sports. It's always like, take a breath, collect yourself, don't act like emotionally, because that is when you like committing back-to-back mistakes like that is when you end up losing games, which is why IKF was in the position to even steal home. In terms of the stealing home, obviously Raley just did not know at all. Alvarez, I don't know, dude. I mean, it looked like he probably like kind of understood based on the pitch that he threw to Alvarez. That he's like, all right, like that he's like, he probably knew, he heard, he definitely saw Alvarez tipped him off by standing up. But Raley just threw like again, like Alvarez being a younger player, probably a little rattled by that. Kind of missed the ball that Raley threw, but Raley threw a ball that was over his head. So it was like kind of no shot anyway. He was going to probably make the tag. So again, something that is defensively like should just never happen. Like you got to do a better job at obviously keeping IKF at first, keeping it a single, and then B, keeping IKF at second base. Like just make a solid throw, obviously, is what you really want to look for, which is something I've talked about with you. Like Alvarez has been doing that all season long. He's a very hard catcher to steal second on. But again, I just think the nerves, the excitement, like just got to him a little bit in this scenario. Again, something that probably wouldn't happen as Alvarez gets more experience with these types of games. So again, those are kind of growing pains you still expect to kind of run into at this point with these types of players. So that's why I guess obviously hold them accountable. But it's about learning. It's a learning environment for those two guys. So, I mean, it is what it is at that point. Obviously, I'm pretty upset, because they kind of tie the game here. They kind of improve their lead here. Forcing the Mets to kind of, try and tie the game in the next inning, because as we get into the eighth. But obviously AKF, I guess, good job with the base running, dude. Right?
Yeah. I mean, did you think that stuff was going to change as quickly as it did at that point?
No, I thought the game over.
Yeah.
I thought Yankees, great bullpen, game over.
And I know hindsight's 2020. First off, I mean, did you think that Cole was going to come out for the seventh?
Honestly, I did, but I wasn't aware of what his pitch count
95.
was.
Bullpen, they said, what was it? King, Holmes, and Peralta were not available.
Right.
And then that's another thing. So we've already had, Gleyber Torres and Stanton rested 3 times this week with 2 off days, which that makes a lot of sense. And then
makes no sense at all.
Michael King not available after throwing 9 pitches last night.
Why?
King's not available.
Why?
In a close game. You're reeling. You need everyone you get. And listen, I know Jimmy Cordero has done a decent job, but he didn't do the job last night. And if you had put Michael King in that situation, maybe you let Cole, maybe he would have had an efficient 7th inning. He was dealing. The Mets had no shot off of him really, other than that run that they scored. So I know, like I said, it's 2020, but it looks like that was a mistake. As you know, Cordero gets into some trouble. Alvarez singling, Beatty flying out, Pham singling. So to give you first and second.
Yep.
Eduardo Escobar grounds into the force out. And then you got first and third. Vientos walks, bases loaded.
Marinaccio.
So they go to Marinaccio. What did you make of making that switch mid-inning, put in Marinaccio in a really tough position there?
I don't know. I thought it was a good move, honestly. Marinaccio is someone who I feel like is really reliable.
Mm-hmm.
He's got great stuff. He's got heat.
Not last night.
Obviously
no,
not
I know
last
I do
night,
like him, but I'm saying that was
leading up to last night, I would have a lot of confidence in him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was a bad move. Again, like Cordero, immediately giving up a hit. And then what would we say? Beatty flew out. So it's not even like, it seems like his stuff was hittable from the get-go. Pham with the single, Escobar getting a hit, it just didn't feel right. So I don't blame Boone for throwing in Marinaccio at all. I think that was that in his eyes, and again, hindsight, whatever. I think that was a good move, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you have kept Cordero in there?
Well, I just think anytime you're asking somebody to come in with the bases loaded,
It's tough.
You're putting him in.
You did that 2 nights ago. Clay Holmes, though, it worked out,
right? But I don't know, just the way Marinaccio has been up and down this year, despite I think the ERA coming into the appearance was like 3.4, but it had been up over 4. And he just didn't have it. And he threw, I think, 22 pitches the night before. So it's like he's available, but Michael King coming off 9 pitches is not available.
Yeah, that does not make any sense.
So he just didn't have it. His fastball, he was throwing like 91, 92. So hopefully he's not injured. So first batter hits Brandon Nimmo, and I know Tony's going to get tight at me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think he really leaned into that one. It was kind of BS, honestly. Yes, he did. His elbows hanging over the middle of the plate.
He was.
Can we pull it up?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, stand by.
No, we're good.
Bring up the actual highlight. Oh no.
Right now, 4-way tie at the top. Morales, who's now through 2 holes, par number 2. Gerard, Kim, and Scott Stallings, all at 1 under par.
Bottom 7th, correct?
Yes.
Marte, Nimmo.
Yep, right there.
Here we go. Yep.
I honestly, just like seeing his face and everything, all of a sudden, like I hate him.
Oh my
Not
God,
kidding.
really?
He's such a rat. Yeah, I really do.
You're right over there? Headphones?
Yeah.
Oh, who's the rat? All right, you watching?
Yeah.
First of all, yeah. All right.
You don't want to put Gary Cohen's
No.
snarl into this?
I don't think that. This is batting stance, by the way.
No, but let's. Or are they going to show close up?
I hope so. He doesn't lean into it; he just doesn't move.
Yeah, but I'm saying his elbow is in the strike zone.
Oh, fuck! They're not going to show it, really?
Just go through it very slowly. Were you able to like zoom?
Playback speed. I'm going to go 0.25.
Yep. Can we blow it up too?
I don't think I have that capability right now. I'm trying.
That's a lean in. How is that not a lean in?
He's getting ready to swing, bro. And he realizes and he just doesn't move.
No.
That's a good batter. Just taking the hit.
Yes. Tony's mice. Nimmo elbow hanging over the plate. So saying it like Buffer would. I think that confirms it.
You don't even know what that is preferred.
But
First of all,
please,
look at the plate. Look at the plate. Look at the plate. The plate's
please.
down here.
No,
And
he
look
leaned into it. Look at him move his elbow.
Look where
towards
the ball
pitch.
is.
He's moving
Look
the
where the
elbow
ball
towards
is.
the pitch.
The
He's
ball is
moving- no.
that
no,
box is the strike zone, Brian.
No.
And look where the ball is.
No. His elbow is in the strike zone.
No, it's not though. It's not in the strike zone.
Yes, it is.
If his elbow was not there and the ball went through that, it's not
But
the
right
ball.
right there. I'm just saying, if you're not purposely trying to get hit by a pitch, you would move out of the way. You wouldn't just take it head on. I don't care what you say.
No.
The ball's coming at you. You can see. What is he blind, Tony? Is he blind?
No, he's not blind.
What do you know?
It's being a team player. Being a team player.
Prefer is back from the dead.
Stop it.
Nemo elbow was not in the box. Come on, guys.
It was not in the box, dude.
Yeah, of course, prefer is gonna say that. So
You said before.
Well, I guess-
you said before.
well, I guess that's not prefer, but it definitely is. He just he's so ridiculous with the multiple accounts and all of this. But clearly, the elbow was over the plate. And honestly, I'm really glad that I was listening to the ESPN broadcast. Wait, was there a local or was it all ESPN last night?
No, that was local.
Oh, so you were watching on SNY?
On the phone at this time.
SNY though?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did not have to hear what
Oh.
the key. I know you think that it's all just the Mets. But I can't get over it how people think they're so good. I just saw some article by the New York Post saying that they're the top watch in town, the three of them. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Think about how many broadcasts that I've heard over the past, even just 20 years, Tony. 20 years of broadcasts. And the fact that people think that broadcast is something special really just sets me off like no other. I'm not kidding.
I know.
Kidding.
It's funny how it does. It's funny, dude.
No, but the thing is, I'm real. I understand that Michael Kay is not a good broadcaster. It has nothing to do with this. I know that's the common thing that all Mets fans go to is Michael Kay. We're not talking about Michael Kay, Tony, okay? We're talking about Gary Cohen. We're talking about Ron Darling. We're talking about Keith Hernandez. The one guy that I guess I would say if I had to respect one of them, it would be Ron Darling. I think he's fine, but the combination of Keith whining and complaining and then Gary Cohen's nasally, snarly voice, I just don't understand how that's exciting. How is that exciting? How is that entertaining? I want to know. I want to know what makes it entertaining.
Honestly, for me, I don't think there's an issue with Gary Cohen's voice. I don't know. I think Keith is really funny, and him and Ron together, very insightful. Obviously, have a vast history together, so they work well together. Like I said too, like yesterday too, like Steve Gelbs, I thought was very good. That's someone who I grew up kind of watching him mature as a broadcaster, and I think he's done a really great job. And on top of that, again, for me, like production wise, like why SNY wins awards is because it's not just them; it's the whole production as a whole. They just do a great job with their games. They do some really cool, creative graphics, creative shots. And I think that they produce a really clean show. So,
being dead serious, the talk of it makes me nauseous. I'm not kidding.
Prefer says better broadcast, Mets trio or Bob Costas.
Bob Costas.
You would take Bob Costas over there. That's ridiculous. No.
That's actually funny. That's like a Francesa funny.
That's like a Michael King talk, dude. Is what that was.
He's not.
No,
he's not trying to be funny, but he's such a chief. It is funny.
But he does try to be funny, and it's not funny.
And it's especially. If Costas isn't calling a Yankee game, that's whatever. It was just very annoying because he's going over the top last year.
The playoffs.
I'm down the middle. But then that turned into being a Cleveland homer, which was just so annoying and ridiculous. Broadcasting these days, though, I have to say, wow. And then David Cohen really got me too last night.
Really?
Yeah, because he's just that's a great win for the Mets. That would have really hurt if they didn't get that one. It's I almost want to fire him from the S Network, honestly. I really almost do. But anyway, Tony, after that debacle, there was a scenario where Starling Marte singles to left, and the Mets don't send the runner from third, which was Mark Vientos. They hold him up, but Nimmo, your buddy, gets caught off of second.
Yeah.
They challenged. The play was upheld. It was very close.
It was not that close.
Okay, so let's go to the video again, Tony.
No, I'm saying it was not that close. Like he was out like by a mile, bro. I'm saying he was so far out of reach. And you think you don't like seeing his face? You'd imagine me after that, bro. Like I didn't want to see his fucking face.
I really
no,
and all the money he makes too. He's not that good. Oh my god, it's one thing to the next.
He's had, first of all, let's pump the brakes a little bit, okay?
Yes, for the pathetic Mets, Tony. He's had a decent season. Is that what you're gonna say?
Honestly, he's a great center fielder. He again, like someone who you've seen, like I've watched come into this league and be a terrible defender, like absolutely atrocious. To be what he's at now is great. However, he clearly had the worst 2 games that I've seen in his recent history, being this game and 2 nights ago against the Yankees. So I mean, there's really no excuse for that. I mean, he absolutely sucked this entire series. Except for obviously, scoring the game-winning run in this game last night.
He's such a rat.
Other than that, I mean, he was playing terrible.
Oh my god.
And yeah, at this point, I mean, it was just really bad base running. I don't know if he had his head down, just thought the runners were going. Holding up Vientos at third wasn't a bad move.
Did you have to like excuse yourself from Craig O when that happened or no?
I mean, obviously, keep it professional here at Downtime, okay? But I was very upset, dude. Oh, my God. So ridiculous, dude. Because I literally saw and I was,
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Well, luckily for you, it only got better from that point on. And especially, what really annoyed me, and another thing that's just so ridiculous, too, it's like, how do we employ our hitting coach? So Volpe led off the 8th. Ottavino comes in for Raley. In the whole talk after last night's game, the new stance, eating the chicken parm with Austin Wells, who has like an OPS higher than maybe like 2 batters on the Yankees, but he's stuck in Double-A for whatever reason. That makes sense. He's a catcher. He could play outfield. But yeah, let's bury him in Double-A as he's like going to win MVP. But that they were going over film and then he changed his batting stance, and it's like, you're telling me that Austin Wells, having one night with Anthony Volpe, can make more of an adjustment than hitting coach Dylan Lawson can the whole season? Here we are in June. I mean, tell me that's not an indictment on the hitting coach.
No, it really is. Like, what are you doing?
And it's like, that this guy has success in the minors when he's struggling. Like, why would you not go to the tape when he's excelling in the minor leagues?
It doesn't make any sense.
So that really annoyed me. And then the fact, too, that Volpe, they were talking about the lack of bunting. Obviously, later on, the Yankees don't bunt with the ghost runner. But what did you make of Bauers swinging away there instead of getting the bunt down with Volpe on second with 1 out or with no outs?
I mean, again, like, I don't know. We've run into issues like this before where, you would think like fundamentals at almost every level, like you're going to try to bunt the runner to third. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't try that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know why. And Bauers is someone who could be speedy too. Maybe he even beat it out to first, if he bunts well enough.
Right.
So I don't know. I thought that was, again, fundamentally just a wrong decision.
Yeah. And it comes back to bite because Stanton then grounds out and Donaldson flies out. So that ends the inning. So you waste a leadoff double with nobody out.
Right.
Then Tommy Kahnle relieves Ron Marinaccio, and he was dealing.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't even throw that many pitches, but you got McNeil to pop out, Lindor to strike out, Alvarez to strike out. Tommy Kahnle is back.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
David Robertson relieves Ottavino.
Dyed his hair.
Here we are once again. Robertson? What color is it?
It's blonde.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, dude.
That's Chief.
Kind of weird.
So Rizzo strikes out.
They've been handling Lindor too much, maybe.
LeMahieu doubles. And then the Yankees pinch run as Waldo Cabrera for LeMahieu. Glaber walks after pinch hitting. McKinney grounds out. So you got second and third with 2 outs. And Willie Calhoun grounds out. So once again, not getting the run in.
Right.
And they would do this yet another time at the top of the 10th after the bottom of the 9th, where you had Albert Abreu, which I was surprised. I was like, why is Abreu in this situation? He gets Beatty to fly out, Pham to ground out, and Escobar to strike out. So around the 10th inning, Anthony Volpe leading off, Higgy on second. Another situation where, I know Volpe, we saw him get a couple of hits there, but I mean, to not bunt there, I mean, was that the right call? I know we've seen signs of life, but isn't it more important than to get Volpe on a hot streak just to score runs in an extra inning situation?
Yeah.
He obviously can bunt. He's a shortstop.
Again, someone who's also speedy could maybe beat it out. And I don't know, man. Someone, of course, like Leon too, who's been pitching really well. Like, why not try and bunt him? Instead, you have a 3-pitch at bat, where you end up swinging through a cutter, that was out of the zone too. It was a ball. So, again, kind of a bad move again.
Yeah. And then Bowers flies out. They walk Stanton and Donaldson grounds out. So yeah, I knew at that point, I was hopeful because they got the first out of the inning. But anytime the home team's up, they need one run. For whatever reason, every single time I watch a game, the home team always wins the game in that situation.
Yeah.
And the Mets do. So, it was very odd too. You start with Abreu on the mound. He strikes out Vientos and they take him out of the game.
Why?
And then your buddy
Nimmo's a lefty, but
so Nick Ramirez, who's pitched in garbage time most of the year, you come him in a do or die situation, and he gives up a double, which was misplayed very badly by Jake Bowers. It seemed like he kind of gave up on the play.
He did give up on the play.
It didn't make any sense. Like, what did he think? The guy was going to tag up 2 bases?
Yeah. And dude, I don't know if I'm sure you saw this too. Escobar was standing on second base when this ball hit the wall.
Yeah.
So it's like, if Bowers played this ball, Escobar either gets thrown out at home or gets held up at third. I feel
Judge would have thrown him out at home easily, and he would have made the play.
So, but instead, Bowers just kind of gives up a very weird, dude. I thought that was kind of a bad play on him. Obviously, a bad play on Escobar too. I mean, he just was sweeping on the play. It seemed maybe he just thought it was gonna be a home run and just staring at it. I don't know what, but yeah, again, I think another instance where Aaron Judge is in, it's a different game. So, which sucks. Oddly reminiscent of our game.
Right. It was
at Gaming Corner, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was so funny.
But I guess you didn't think it was so funny.
It just, I mean, luckily the U.S. Open saves it today, but it's just tough to go through that. Then have the off day.
Right.
Then have a weekend series in Boston. And not that they're even that good, but it just seems like every time we're at Fenway, I mean, it's like everything isn't just handed to you. It's very, very tough to get wins.
Right.
And then just Sunday Night Baseball. Anytime our games are on at night on ESPN, I feel like we always lose. We lost last week Sunday Night Baseball. We lose this game. And then what's going to happen this Sunday against the Red Sox?
Yeah. I think you'll be fine against the Red Sox this weekend.
But don't you think, though, Fenway, it's like it changes things?
Always tough. But I mean, I don't know. They've been having kind of a shit year in terms of attendance and everything.
But they just took 2 or 3 from us at home.
Yeah.
And I think, let's see if we have the same pitching matchup. So last Friday when I was there, we had Herman Houck. That's what we have. Or was that Saturday? That was Saturday. But yeah, anyway, so this is the Friday night matchup. Herman Houck, Schmidt Bayo, which we had last week, and then Sevy Paxton. And I know Paxton's kind of toned it down a little bit, pitched better, but you could see both of those guys getting absolutely bombed on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah, it's tough, dude.
Don't know what to make of Sevy. Bader will be back Friday.
Right.
Which is good.
That's great.
Still no timeline for Judge. Rodon rehab assignment soon. I know relatively, we're still okay, but it's like this is the time where it's like you need to run. We had it last month. This month has been back to mediocre baseball. But we need the 7 out of 10 right now. I mean,
definitely.
I don't think.
Who do you have to the Red Sox?
Seattle at home. And then Texas at home, and that's gonna be tough. That's not easy. Tough. I mean, luckily it's at home, but we're like 500 at home this year. I mean, it really not that impressive.
Yeah. No, that's kind of tough.
Right now,
tough schedule.
1 game lead over Toronto in the last wild card spot. Houston's up by half a game. Toronto 6-4 in the last 10. We're 5-5. The Angels are 8-2. Prefer's asking about chicken parm.
Yeah, I'm hungry, right? I'm starving. Chicken parm sounds so good.
Nothing today?
No food yet, dude. PB&J after the show, and then obviously movie theater popcorn too. So it's gonna be nice.
Movie theater popcorn is so good,
So
but
good, dude.
I feel like it's impossible not to overdo it with the refillable bucket.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's way too
And
much.
then also, like, for me too, I feel like I come out of the movie theater, and if I don't, like, I'm still hungry because it's just fucking
just
popcorn.
popcorn. But my new thing now, like, especially if we're going Arthur Ave before the Yankee game, just popcorn and beer in the stadium.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
nice to have the popcorn, it lasts like the whole game.
Yeah, it's a fucking giant
You don't
bag.
even finish it.
Yeah, you don't.
But
Volpe fixing a sprinkle chicken parm last weekend.
yeah, that's what I was talking about with Austin Walls.
Was that?
Well, he went late to the party.
Oh, it's right, dude. It's right.
Yeah.
Chicken parm sounds so good right now. A little side of spaghetti.
Now you going, because I feel like it's pretty regularly you're not eating before the show. Is that by design or is that a time thing?
Like before Sportsport.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't know, for me, it does save time not having to eat in the morning.
Right.
And then on top of that, it just makes sense after the show. It's like lunchtime. I'll just eat my lunch and then I'll have dinner.
So,
after.
but kind of an accidental fast.
Yeah, kind of. And especially like yesterday, I had an early dinner, like fucking 5 o'clock, I think, 5:30.
Yeah.
So I haven't eaten since 5:30 yesterday.
So and it just PBJ till the popcorn. That's gonna be enough.
Yeah, I think so. PB&J. Yeah, man, you toast it up,
Warm it up, toast it up.
slap some peanut butter on it. So, like, PB&J just slaps for me every time, dude. So good. I don't know how you feel about PB&Js.
No, I like
You don't
peanut
like
butter.
them?
I think it's like I don't really like jelly. I don't like American bread. So it's like I'm not a PB&J guy. I don't like white.
Wow. You don't like
like
regular
the
white
white.
loaf
The
of
loaf.
bread.
That
Yeah.
bread is disgusting. Like,
Interesting.
let's have some Wonder Bread, Tony.
Right. No, Wonder Bread. Whoa. I don't get Wonder Bread, Brian.
No, I know,
okay?
but I'm saying that I don't like white
Pepperidge
slices.
Farm. Yeah,
I don't like white slice.
That's tough.
Give me a
dude.
Portuguese
Right,
bread.
yeah.
Even a whole grain. I
Yeah.
like whole grain, but just regular white.
So you don't like jelly either? Jelly donuts? Jelly with the
Jelly
desserts?
donuts, but not peanut butter and jelly. No.
Oh, wow.
Like peanut butter flavored stuff is very good. Peanut butter ice cream is probably one of the best things created.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Peanut butter milkshake, Tony.
Peanut butter. Oh, dude.
From Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, dude. I bet like a Reese's Blizzard right now would be so good too.
Hard to top the Reese's Blizzard.
I know.
I'll tell you that much. So needless to say, Tony, I mean, I know obviously this doesn't change much for you. Like you're still very concerned, but
oh yeah.
What do you think about my concerns? Is this going to be turned around? Am I going to see something more consistent going forward? Do you see trouble with the upcoming series? I mean, how do you feel?
I just think there has to be a little bit of a change of mentality with how Boone plays his team, to be honest. I mean, obviously you're working with injuries. That's tough, but I think he can do things that are better. Like to limit some damage here. I mean, am I wrong to say, how about we trot Stanton out there once in a while?
To the outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is the deal with that, my guy?
And he always plays better because they're nervous. And it's
dude,
like, he might have even made that play last
night. He had Monday off. Was he off on Monday? Well, no, the whole team was off on Monday. Off on Sunday? What game did he not play at all? Sunday, he pinched hit, right? He came in a pinch hit.
Yeah,
and he was
Sunday.
DH.
So Sunday was off.
Sunday, Monday
and
off.
Friday off.
Like, what the fuck? And then you have an off day on today. Today you're off. Like,
no, and then you have an off day Monday. How about that, Tony?
Like, what are we doing? Like, why aren't you playing him in the outfield? And then the whole bunt situations here. Like, again, I feel like, you could be playing a better game. Like, you can be managing better. Because, I mean, last night, dude, the Mets fucking kind of gave you the game a little bit. Like, they fucking sucked. They had fielding errors, running errors. People were striking out, like Cole had a great outing. But I think like because of managerial decisions here, you ended up kind of losing the game a little bit. So I guess obviously players are held accountable, but stemming from that managerial decision. So I think if you change that, if Boone changes up the lineup a little bit and just has a different attitude in terms of when to bunt and get runners in scoring position, like kind of do a better job at that. I mean, I think you guys are gonna be winning a lot more games, and you'll be totally fine without Aaron Judge in the lineup for the time that you will not have. Which it does seem like All-Star break is what they're talking about now.
Yeah, that's kind of the consensus.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the thing that just frustrates me is last year, especially when people like Judge were out, and in the beginning of this year, like because of the element of surprise, that teams aren't expecting it, they're not known as a running team, they're running a lot. And I just feel like that's kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
And I think you should know at this point that more than likely in a game without Judge, the offense is going to struggle. So like you have to do those things like bunting, like stealing, like hitting and running. And I feel like there's a very much so a lack of that.
Yeah, I mean, IKF stealing home, that was obviously
that was
a great call.
great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a gutsy move to do that.
But late in the game, you needed to do some other stuff that you just didn't do.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think we've shown at this point, we can't assume when there's runners on that we're just going to get hits and hit them over and drive them in.
Right.
That we need to advance them by other measures.
They get creative, yeah.
So it's just tough. I just want to be pumped up. And right now I'm not pumped up. I'm a little beaten down. I mean, am I being dramatic? I mean, do you understand? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be beaten down. I really do think like you guys will have, honestly, I think you kind of rise to the occasion against Texas. I think you do well against Boston, honestly, this weekend too. But again, like it's just tough because it is like what we're talking about. It kind of is like a fundamental, like there's a fundamental of baseball, really. Like these decisions that Boone is making is going against the fundamentals. Again, obviously, I don't know what he's seeing during practice, dugouts, meetings, whatever. But to me, it just seems like I said, like it's just things that are done around the sport at many levels for a reason that he's just not doing. But I feel like some of these players in your team, which you have obviously a lot of talent on the Yankees, I think they're end up rising to the occasion. And again, I feel like IKF stealing home. I mean, I'm sure that's something that he must have seen on the field, you know?
Yeah.
Like he must have known that Rayleigh wasn't really checking him down to third base, and kind of made some type of sign call that he was going to steal. Okay. Sort of deal. So again, like you have enough talent on the team. I think you'll be fine.
But the biggest thing, I mean, other than Judge coming back when he does come back, is it just in terms of hitting, in terms of power and production? I mean, is it just that players improving? I mean, is that that's what you're banking on?
Oh yeah. And I think getting Bader back too is going to be huge. Those are two big names coming back to your lineup, dude. So,
and then because with Bader back, like you said, I mean, have Bader play center, and then put Stanton at right.
Like what?
Please,
the hell,
and
dude?
he hits better. That's what's just so annoying. The splits are so much better, and obviously because with the Marlins, he basically didn't DH other than maybe interleague back in the day. The numbers are just so much better in the field.
It's crazy that they don't play him.
So hopefully that happens. The picks, Tony, are a disaster for me. You're already up 6 points. We just started this. You went 3-0 last night. I went 1-3 because the Yankees couldn't win. The Dodgers couldn't beat the White Sox for the second night in a row, just by Clayton Kershaw on the hill. And the Mariners couldn't beat the Marlins. Castillo on the hill. And you know what? All these great pitchers pitching yesterday. You know who steps up and gets a win?
Who? Who's
Take a guess. Who's been my theme? I keep talking about the
Walker.
Yeah. Steps up. 6 shutout innings. What's up?
That's crazy, dude.
Against the Cleveland, but literally to give you the line on Waka, it was a 5-0 win for San Diego. He's now 7-2 on the season. His ERA is 2.89.
Wow.
6 2/3, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. I mean, he literally could pitch himself into Cy Young conversation.
Yeah, that's really good.
And
ridiculous.
The Padres, need it in the worst way.
Oh yeah.
And so they're kind of going from a team that's very much so underperforming, very much so struggling, to now kind of getting themselves back in the mix, where we could see them improving and getting into contention. I thought it was interesting. I saw this. I don't know if you did on Twitter, but I think Talking Baseball, they posted it, but Arenado was interviewed, and I know the Cardinals have somewhat rebounded, but are still 15 games under 500, so technically not really.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he declined his opt-out clause. He said he couldn't, in the worst way, imagine this scenario the way it's happened. And he's like, sure, could we turn it around? But nothing points to it. That's basically what he said.
Dude. That's what he said?
Yeah.
That's not good. They have a series against the Mets this weekend.
That comes at a good time for the Mets.
It might come at a good time for the Cardinals.
But then, hey, maybe Arenado hits a couple home runs that'll propel the Mets to trade for him.
Yeah, maybe, dude. But let's get to my first pick here tonight, dude.
Straight business.
Like I don't even want to think about the Cardinals like taking 2 out of 3 from the Mets this weekend.
You're really that nervous? I thought. I thought you said that because you were tight about getting Arenado. And it's like, listen, if you don't want Arenado,
I would love Arenado, dude. I think the crowds are infield, and it's gonna be interesting to see, what happens.
But when you just have a professional that's a Gold Glove winner, he's been a Gold Glover every single season in the majors. I just feel, you know what? And we think we're happy with Josh Donaldson at third.
Do you think he's a little bit of a prima donna?
I mean, they're 15 under 500, and it's June. What do you want him to say? He's
even like everything with Colorado too.
They blew it. They had so much talent.
Yeah, I know.
Arenado, Story, Charlie Blackmon in his prime.
Yeah.
So tough to blame him.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of Colorado, though, they're playing the Braves tonight, 7:20 in Atlanta, and I kind of want to take the underdog here in Colorado. Kyle Freeland on the mound.
Pitched very well. ERA under 4. Very surprising. I thought he sucked.
Yeah, I know. It has been pitching pretty well. Kansas City, 7 innings, 2 earned runs. San Diego, 5 innings, but just 1 earned run. So I think he can limit some damage here. He can pitch well. And on top of that, Atlanta has this guy up from their minor league system. First ever major league start, AJ Smith Shawver. AJ Smith Shawver, dude. 20 years old, Brian. He was born in 2002. How crazy is that?
Pretty crazy.
That people are born in 2002 and they're in the major leagues. But just looking up this dude, I don't know, man. It doesn't really seem like he really is like that highly touted. And again, let's see, electric fastball and slider combination. He's a big and projectable, and already has that. Touches 98 on the gun with his fastball, which is nice. But I don't know. Again, I've seen so many times these young guys. This guy's fucking really young, 20 years old. Like Soroka, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up here, I think he may run into some trouble here. Give me Colorado, massive underdog here, tight dog here. I'd say they win 4-2.
Wow,
I know.
I want to look up actually what they are in a sec, but before I do that, I might as well just give my pick here. I'm going to go with actually the first game of the day in Baltimore.
Wow.
We have Tyler Wells on the hill, 5-2, 3.24 against Yusei Kikuchi, 6-2, 4.34. You already know what I'm going to say. Orioles have been playing very well. Production up and down the lineup. Gunnar Henderson, Tony, the young third baseman, finally showing that promise. I think he had a grand slam 2 nights ago.
Nice.
And has been homering a lot recently after a very, very slow start. We know about Rutschman. Aaron Hicks seemingly on a bender right now as well. So I think they get to Kikuchi early. Wells will stifle this inconsistent offensive attack of the Blue Jays. And I think the Orioles will win this one 6-2.
All right, dude. My next pick, I'm gonna go with Minnesota Twins. Sonny Gray, dude.
I was gonna take it. It's a good pick.
It's a good pick. Yeah, against Detroit here. Matt Boyd on the mound for them. Sonny Gray, we obviously know about his type of year he's been having. Boyd has not done well recently, and this is the first time these two teams are meeting each other. So I think Boyd's gonna get popped a little bit. Maybe Joey Gallo, maybe with a dinger for his 12th of the year, and of course Buxton, who's actually on the 10-day IL.
Do we have a batting average for Gallo?
194, I think it said.
So he's back, basically.
24 ribbies, 11 home runs, though.
No, I meant it seriously, because, I mean, he usually hits 160, right?
Yeah.
So 190,
basically.
Back. Yeah.
So we Minnesota Twins here. I say they win, I don't know, man, like 3-1. Low scoring.
I have this. Okay. So, yeah, the Rockies, Tony, if you want to put a couple shekels, 2-1 on your money line. Not bad, no?
Not bad at all, dude.
Or +1.5, +105.
Really?
That's the conservative.
That's
play.
definitely a nice safe bet to parlay both, dude.
But you could tell, that's definitely a good one to go with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually do a dog myself. It's such a reach, and they were leading early yesterday before blowing it, and they've won 2 out of the first 3 games of the series. I'm gonna go with the A's. You got Paul Blackburn versus Tony Bradley. Bradley's numbers a little uninspiring.
Wow.
And for whatever reason, like I said, I know the Rays ended up coming back. I think it was 6-3 last night.
Mhm.
They ended up winning. The A's plus 170. That's a little suspicious, Tony. The A's, one of the worst records in MLB history. You would think against Tampa, it would be well over like 2.5 to 1.
I know. They're hot right now, dude.
So I think they get the bats going, the crowd riled, a 12:37. Or actually, wait, so California, is it 3 hours or 4 hour time difference? It's 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Oh, so that I was so wrong about the US Open. It's 6:45, not 5:45. I was like, there's no way it's 5:45.
That's funny.
The sun probably is barely up. Anyway, yeah, so 12:37 there. But yeah, give me Blackburn, 6 scoreless. The Rays do a little damage in the bullpen, but the A's end up winning this one. Let's say 4-2. You think it's an embarrassing pick? That's your face right now.
No, honestly, I think it's possible. I was just thinking of the A's because their attendance yesterday was back to like fucking a couple thousand.
A couple?
I don't know exactly.
Do you want me to pull it up? What's
dude.
your guess though? Did you see it or you read it? Like what was?
No, Rick and Dave were talking about it this morning.
Rick and Dave talking about it. Okay, what's your guess?
I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know, like 9,000.
It was 7,055.
Oh,
You're tight. No, but the legislation was, yes,
they're gonna go to the MLB with it.
Now they're back to the other type of boycott.
It's so crazy, dude. Yeah, that it worked too.
But I wonder what they're gonna do while the stadium's being built. Are they gonna? Do you think they go to a temporary spot in Vegas? Because I just feel like they can't stay there anymore. Like
I know
bad stuff's gonna start happening if they do.
Yeah, dude. I guess so. I mean, I don't know what Vegas has to offer, but maybe
the college baseball field, or they could do something where I'm trying to think who has the Las Vegas team now. I don't know who took it over from the Mets.
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't it like the 6th? It's like the Las Vegas.
Aviators.
Yeah, so they changed the name.
Yeah.
The A's. So geographically, that makes sense.
They're the A's affiliate.
So that's that. Oh, that is actually very interesting, huh?
Very interesting. Yeah, dude.
So you think that's the natural fit?
Yeah, it's got to be.
But is it still too hot? You think to do like even if it's an 8 o'clock game, is it still too hot to play it outside in the summer?
I don't know. Is it? I've never really been.
Well,
to Vegas,
or I guess it's probably manageable, but it's got to be still like 90 probably.
Yeah. Oh,
so you know that they're gonna do a retractable stadium.
They have to.
Yeah, or fixed, but probably retractable just because the fall might be nice.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised the Raiders didn't do that because you would think in the winter, but it just a cost saving measure.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure it costs. Yeah, definitely.
But what are your thoughts on Sports Inside? Do you think it takes away or it just
no, not at all?
Yeah.
Well, maybe for like football and stuff, but obviously again, like a game like baseball where you can't play in the rain, it kind of makes sense.
So you wouldn't be upset if the Mets went to
Cohen was talking about it,
but would you need it to be retractable or would you be okay with fixed?
Oh no, retractable.
So fixed, you'd be pretty tight.
Fixed would be kind of tight, but he talked about putting a retractable roof in city. Which obviously costs fucking so much money, but it would be sick, dude. Especially it was right after all those fucking rain delays we had.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, geez, to have no rain delays, like it's like almost to the point. I know it's a dollar cents thing funding, but like going forward that like unless you're in a climate where it really doesn't rain, that they almost force you to do a retractable.
Right.
MLB.
And it's just like Seattle.
Yeah. I mean, the way Seattle does it is perfect. Having the ends open. I think another stadium does that. Is it the Diamondbacks?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe. I think so, though.
Arizona, yeah.
I'm trying to think about other retractables. I guess Toronto is retractable.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Tampa's not. No, I think so.
Oh, the Rangers.
Oh yeah, they're new.
That it's retractable, right? It's not fixed.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
That ballpark looks awesome.
Practical roof at Globe Life, dude.
Yep, we knew it. We knew it.
Wow,
So,
that looks sick, dude.
isn't it really like just like looking at stadiums and like it's awesome.
Dude, are
Like
you
the
kidding me?
stadium
Yeah.
tour.
Beautiful.
That is ridiculous. That is like insane.
It really is insane, dude. Like, what the hell?
Oh, and then Houston, Tony.
Houston is retractable?
Yeah. Yep. Because it's always like,
I didn't
is the
know that.
roof gonna be open? They always talk about it
Yeah.
for like World Series games and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's cool, dude.
And just taking a look here before we go to your third pick.
Oh, yeah.
Molinari starting on the back nine here with an early birdie on 10. So he's 1 under. We haven't seen much out of Francisco Molinari since he won the Open back in 2018. And speaking of winning the Open, Shane Lowry 1 under through 1 hole to start his round, as well as we got some notables out on the course. Justin Thomas parring number 1. Sergio Garcia parring number 1, and Tommy Fleetwood, as well as Terrell Hatton parring number 1. And Bryson DeChambeau with an early bogey to go to 1 over.
Wow.
Cameron Young a bogey as well through 2. So still a lot of guys to tee off, but definitely cool that we're getting started. This is Miller Park?
Yeah.
I've been to Miller Park.
American Family Fields.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, but first that
Miller Park is awesome, Tony.
It looks fucking like so dope, dude. These photos of it.
Yeah. No, but really, like, it would be awesome to do it one year where we just hit them all.
Dude, I'd be so down.
Which one do you think you're most excited for?
I mean, I've always wanted to go to Wrigley.
Wrigley is
there,
awesome.
Dude. Yeah,
Wrigley is awesome. Dodger Stadium is definitely going to be sick,
dude. Too.
Padres, I've been there, but haven't been to a game. That's awesome.
Giants
looks pretty nice.
Dope,
Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh we talked about.
Kind of curious. Like, it seems like I know the surrounding area and traffic and stuff is bad, but it seems like the Marlins Stadium's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Brave Stadium looks pretty nice.
Oh yeah, in Georgia that'd be dope. Dude.
Philly Stadium is like whatever.
I've been there. Haven't been for a game though.
But right, I mean, I think it's not that old, but it's older compared to what
the area where it is cool because
the
Flyers and the 76ers and the Eagles play right in the same parking lot.
It's cool. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I would love to go back to Rogers Center 18 years ago.
Wow.
That was pretty awesome to see like the renovations and stuff. Trying to think of other like Colorado would probably be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, very true.
I hope eventually they just get it together. Do you think the altitude is really what's screwing them over, or it's just bad management?
Bad management. Come on, dude. Altitude.
But think about it. Since they were in the World Series against the Red Sox,
nothing.
I mean, I guess
zilch.
Maybe 06 they had a shot. I mean, but barely anything, and they had good talent. They blew it.
Have you been to the Mariners Park?
I saw it because I was at CenturyLink. We got a tour. I saw it from across the street, but that's another one that seems pretty
Jane
cool.
Harrison went there. They said they opened for a game. They said they loved it.
Yeah, I could see that. The White Sox Stadium, I think it's guaranteed Ray Field, was a dog. Really? Like, look, it's not even that old, but it's just so uninspiring.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cleveland seems like it's tired.
You've been there?
No, but just from watching on TV. So yeah, the ballpark tour, Tony.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely happen.
Am I making another pick?
You are making another pick,
really?
But before you make the other pick, Dylan Wu, Tony, has birdied the first 2 holes here, solo lead. Actually has birdied 2 and 3, so he parred 1, which is interesting. Easiest hole on the course, and then he picks up 2 birdies. But what's your third and final?
I guess I'll go with the Stros. Mackenzie Gore, excuse me, someone who I actually since they played the Mets, I was kind of high on because he was pitching really well. Has lost each of his last 5 starts.
Law of averages?
I don't think so, dude.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say Davey Martinez was a little fired up too. I guess something about
really
fair or foul. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Yeah. There was a clip on Twitter.
Stop. No,
I don't know how he's not fired.
Yeah, honestly. So give me the Stros, who actually, Christian Javier on the mound. Talking about good starts. LA 6 innings, 1 earned run. Oakland 5 innings, 1 earned run. Milwaukee 6 innings, 1 earned run. Chicago 6 innings, 1 earned run. So obviously limiting the amount of runs he gives up. I don't know if you heard too. Lance McCullers out for the season.
I did
think.
see that last night.
Kind of tough, but Stros, give me the Stros against Washington. Going for the sweep. They are. So give me the Broom here as they win 6-5.
I'm going to copy you. It's a tricky spot. And Evaldi's pitching out of his mind.
Wow.
So I'm going to go with the Angels. Go with Ohtani.
Whoa.
5-2, 3.32. Evaldi, 9-2, 2.49.
Yeah.
But he's not that good. I don't know. Don't you think he's going to come back to earth?
Ohtani?
No. Evaldi.
Oh, sorry. Evaldi? Yes. Most definitely.
And then Prefer back with the fade of the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Rangers. Just kind of curious because I know you're going to give me a non-biased opinion here. Who would you have taken for those games?
Honestly, it's funny because I was thinking about because I tend to pick the Angels. Excuse me.
Yeah.
When Ohtani's pitching, but I did because of Evaldi kind of back off a little bit. But I probably would have ended up going with the Angels. I mean, Ohtani's just ridiculous, and they have one of the better bullpens in the league.
Right.
What we learned yesterday. And then I don't know, man. So in terms of Tampa Bay, I probably would have picked Tampa Bay over the A's.
Conceivable. What about the Blue Jays and the Orioles?
No way, probably Orioles. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
you're sick of the Blue Jays
honestly,
act, too.
Dude,
The drama,
suck,
the
dude.
divas.
Honestly, dude, like they're trash. Kikuchi.
Yeah, what a loser.
Honestly.
And it's kind of nice too for everybody out there. So the TV coverage of the U.S. Open begins at 1:00 on USA Network through 8:00 before they move to NBC. But right now, just started about 4 minutes ago. USOpen.com is available, and they are featuring the group of Colin Morikawa, Max Homa, and Scotty Scheffler. So that is a treat. To be able to see those guys shot by shot, some of the best golfers in the world.
Oh yeah.
We haven't heard from him in a while, Tony, but you think Homa's kind of due? I mean, he always wins in California. And I'm not saying he's going to win this tournament, but you think he's going to have a good
MC,
really
MC.
What any rhyme or reason?
I want to say his long game fine, but maybe his iron work and his
How
play
are
coming
you
up
for
to
this?
the greens. Oh wow, dude, that's sick.
Like, are you kidding?
That's dope. That's on where are you watching that?
USOpen.com.
Just you can just go to usopen.com. It's there.
Yeah.
That's
And
sick.
if you have a Peacock subscription, there's it's available as well. And then I think it's NBC, or maybe that's part of Peacock. But anyway, yeah, the USA Network will give you the general coverage. But I think NBC app also has some featured groups later today.
Cool.
So I think if you had to pick, Tony, would you rather watch the Koepka group shot by shot or go general coverage?
General coverage.
See it all.
Yeah. Why? Would you?
I don't know, like a group like that, Koepka, Rory, and Matsuyama. Like, I don't know, shot by shot. I feel like, it's kind of awesome, honestly.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. But I don't know. I love the regular coverage, dude.
Yeah.
They do a great job. They really do.
So I'm guessing that between Homa, Scheffler, and Morikawa, that you would say out of those three that Scheffler finishes the best?
Yeah. Well, Morikawa, I don't know, dude.
He's kind of due?
Yeah.
California native as
I
well?
think so. Yeah. Give me Morikawa.
Wow. And then what was it? There was one, I think actually though, Max Homa, they said back in college, shot a 62 here.
Really?
Yeah.
In college?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
But yeah, this is awesome. It looks like it's a little cloudy there. I mean, Morikawa going with the full sweater look, which is kind of interesting. But definitely really, really excited to watch this one. And it comes at a perfect time on the schedule with baseball, with the Mets and the Yankees being off.
Yeah.
Full attention on this. And Scotty Scheffler here hitting out of the bunker, but right onto the fairway. So a safe shot by Mr. Scheffler. And it's just so much fun just thinking about all the talented golfers in this tournament. And it's like one guy is going to come out on top. And it's always like, I feel like I always ask myself the question of, well, you know, is it going to be that established guy or is it going to be somebody that we never saw coming?
What do you think?
I mean, I think it could go either way, but so many guys like Brooks, like Scheffler, like Rahm, are playing so well this season that to me, it seems like a guy like Matt Fitzpatrick, who won last year, it's going to be tough for somebody to do that again this week just because of all the good golf that has been played in the weeks and months leading up to this tournament.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude.
You got the coverage going on over there?
No, I wish, dude. Actually, I just saw, like, I was on Twitter for a second. Have you ever heard of Cricket Car Hop?
Yes.
In Stratford?
Yes.
Looks fucking awesome, dude. You've been?
Yeah. Actually, my dad loves going there for either a hot dog or a bacon, egg, and cheese. I can't believe you've never been there.
No.
Do you know the history about how it used to be there and they brought it back?
Yes, yeah.
Were you just reading off of that?
Well, because you remember Justin DeVellis?
Yeah.
He just did a news story there for News 12, I guess.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
dude. So
no, I mean it's good, but it's just all these things that are around. It's just so tough because like it's right. It's literally no joke. It's a 2-minute drive or less from the office.
Oh, God.
But it's like, you know, like especially lunch, like it's tough middle of the day to go nuts and eat all this unhealthy food. How do you have a great rest of the day though? Honestly?
You don't.
Like I feel like the unhealthy food, you might as well save it if you're gonna be drinking anyway.
Yeah.
Versus during the week, you try to, have a salad once in a while,
Yeah. What'd you have for dinner last night, Brian?
Tony, but I have to say, I was started telling you about it, but Vinny's in Stanford.
Yeah, what do we got there? Ribs?
No, they probably have ribs there, but I just had boneless wings and they split the garlic bread. But their wings, it's a chipotle flavor. One of the best wing sauces I've ever had.
Really?
The one thing though, if you were there last night, I know how you are, a food pundit that you are. Sauce was great. The boneless wings were crispy, but almost like extra crispy.
Okay.
Yeah. But a little light on the sauce. And I know that would be a problem with you.
That would be a big
How do you feel
problem.
about the extra crispy though?
Love the extra crispy.
Yeah, I think it makes it better.
I don't like the boneless though. What's the deal with
really?
the boneless?
I like it so much better. Like because sometimes with the butts and stuff, it's like I don't need any of that.
Yeah.
Like
I kind of like the guts. I like the fat.
Yeah, I don't. I've never any like chicken, turkey.
Right.
I don't like stuff with bones. Steak.
Oh, dude, that's tough. That's all right. You know what I've been really a fan of recently? I've been having honey hot wings.
Those are really good.
Oh,
well, I think we had something similar when we got Brick House to go at my house. I think for football earlier this year. It might have been week 1, honestly. You came over.
Oh, yeah. Honey hot sounds, yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Brick House has really good wings, but
that was such a long time ago, bro.
It was such a long time ago. And the tough part about over there is, it's a very popular, very good wings. I think they have, they always have drink specials. They have a different drink special every day. But the problem is it's always overcrowded. And unless you're sitting at the bar, which is the bar seats are never open, you can't get a good view of the game. So it's like, why are we going to go there? Dude. I know you could get it to go.
Right.
But as an environment like Vinny's is perfect because the bar, it's a complete circle. So you could see all the TVs, plus they have the side tables.
That's dope.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
I can just go to Archie Moore's right now. And just
but could you, because like, I know like you've definitely grown, more of an interest into the golf, but it's like, there's still like a limit, obviously. If you didn't have obligations the rest of the day, could you go the entire day, like out at like one of these local places and like just all day, just food, the beers, and the golf? Could you do it?
I would love to do that, dude. Are you kidding me?
No, imagine too if we did that and then streamed it or like, had some type of like a simulcast of it.
That would be dope, dude.
Yeah.
I would definitely rather do that than go to the movies today.
Yeah,
obviously.
Or
it's a beautiful day out there.
The sports book, whether it's at Mohegan or Foxwoods, it would be awesome to do that. Bobby V's, I feel like, doesn't have a good viewing area. You know what I mean?
Really?
You can sit at a table,
right?
But like Mohegan has the movie theater seats so comfortable. And it's so awesome watching on the big screens.
Oh, yeah, I bet, dude. Well, if you want, I mean, you can knock off work and we could start local there and just start making our way down Post Road, hit Colony and Archie Moore's.
But the problem is you started with local. And I thought Michael's told you he knows what goes on.
But yeah, that's why you start with local. Just drink a little bit, get a little buzz going, work up your appetite. Don't get food there. Walk over to Archie's.
Wait, but do you actually like local?
I've never eaten there before because of Michael.
Oh, okay.
I've never been there, never really heard of it until I met Mike. And then the first thing he says to you after he says I worked at local, he says never eat there.
Well, I didn't work there, and I still would have told you that.
Yeah. So, but I know people. I mean, Harrison goes there all the fucking time, and he eats. So
I feel like
I've been to Sitting Duck a million times.
I like Sitting Duck though.
They're same owners.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for some reason, I think Sitting Duck is so good, and I think local is like just.
I think maybe once Mike and I got food there, and he had like a salad or something, and then I got maybe a wrap. It was okay.
At local.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it because we definitely.
It's just it's a weird menu. It's like
it is a weird menu.
Yeah, and the wings aren't good.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I guess Michael says whatever's going on in the kitchen is going on in the kitchen.
Well, he was probably the problem, honestly.
Oh man, I wish we had him here now to like kind of like go through some stories from there.
I
we
know,
don't want
dude.
local to get too pissed at us.
No. Yeah, true. But I mean, he probably doesn't care anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
Yeah, dude. So where would you want to start? You want to start local? We can start somewhere else. We can go to Martell's down the street, closer to Southport.
Martell's.
It's like when you go down Post Road, you're making a left to go up Sasko Hill. It's that restaurant Martell right there, past like the big field that's for sale still on Post Road on the right hand side.
Okay, yeah. I don't think I never focused on like
they're a good lunch spot. Great food, fish, like quality stuff. Very expensive, obviously, but the espresso martinis there, dude.
Oh man.
Oh, so good. They make it right, and then you sit at the bar. It's a small spot, couple TVs, but it's a good way to start. A couple espresso martinis, maybe like an app, some shrimp cocktails, some espresso martinis to start your day off.
You're killing me, Tony.
And then you walk down the road, dude.
You're killing me. Thank God tomorrow's Friday.
And then you can go back all the way back down, end your night at Southport Pizza at the Horseshoe. That would be sick, dude.
What else do you need?
We can go to 11 at that point.
Yeah, why not? There's probably what's it called? Like like there's probably an encore presentation on golf at 11 too, so we can see the
run it
early
back.
coverage that we missed.
Yeah, dude. Wow. Black
What a
out at
day.
that point.
What a day, what a life. Let's just say that, Tony.
Yeah.
Anything else on the way out here? Any like bold predictions for the tournament today or baseball? Or anything crazy?
I don't think anything crazy. Though I was going to mention something honestly about downtime, something, but I kind of forgot it now. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Talk about it tomorrow or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude, it's a beautiful day out there. It's going to be a great day. Honestly, like I know the Mets and Yankees are off, but there's some like really good, obviously golf going on, but also some good baseball games in general, like around the league happening today. Like tonight, like 8:00, Angels Rangers. Dude.
Yeah,
like,
that's
going to be
really
a great
good
game.
But don't you think Evaldi's going to come back to earth though?
I do. Maybe not tonight though.
Yeah, but Ohtani, I like the Angels just get extra riled when Ohtani's on the mound.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. The guy's batting like 300 still.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
it is
what he does.
But yeah, definitely. So definitely exciting stuff. But once again, I'd like to thank everybody today for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy their day, enjoy the golf, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.